Hey everybody, my name is Jessica Glad and I teach middle school algebra. Welcome. So a lot of times in class I use a lot of memes to kind of get some chuckles and smiles out of the kids. And this is one of my favorites. Did you seriously just ask your math teacher if you have to show your work? I feel like this is a good time to talk about that. Middle school algebra is kind of the point in a student's math career where things get a little bit more challenging, and maybe it's not just something that they can do in their head anymore as the steps get more involved. So that is something that I will be encouraging your child a lot with, is just to show their work, kind of make their, I say we've got so much in our brains, holding on to so many things. Just show your work and make your path to your solution. So I thought that was appropriate to start with that. So to get started, a little bit about me. This is actually my 22nd year of teaching, and I have been in Mounds View School District all 22 years, which has been amazing. For the first 15 years, I taught at Highview Middle School, 6th and 7th grade math. And for these last 7 years, I've been at Chippewa doing 7th and 8th grade math. I have two wonderful children that are in the same age bracket as kind of your children are. So my daughter Gabby is 12 years old. She is a 7th grader. And my son Thomas is 16. He just got his driver's license last week. So I'm right in the middle of it, right with you. But it's fun. I love my job. I love being here. I love kids this age. So it is a joy. I went to Bemidji State University for my undergrad. Found a picture there. It's beautiful this time of the year up in northern Minnesota. I'm originally from northern Minnesota. And then I came down here and got my first job, and I've been here ever since. Jimmy Kitty makes his appearance on a lot of my presentations. He is such a joy. He's kind of acts like a dog. So I am a huge pet lover, animal lover. I love music, being active outdoors. I am a reality TV junkie. I blame that on MTV back from the 90s. I love relaxing on a beach, and I am a great listener. So one of the things that you're probably wondering, where do I find everything? This year is a bit different since there's so much digital aspects to being a student. So Google Classroom is where it's all at. And I know many of you as parents are able to view your students' Google Classroom. You're on whether your notifications are on or off. They're probably off because they get a lot of updates. But everything is organized by topic under the classwork tab. There's links, presentations, videos, practice work. Another nice one is the calendar, the student calendar, which gives them an idea of what their daily doc looks like. What is everything? So it's kind of a one-stop shop. Google Classroom is where they find all of that. In Google Classroom, they just need to know which period they have math. I have multiple periods, but they have the schedule done pretty well by now, periods 1 through 7. And the course calendar is under there. The course calendar, here's a little example of what you might see depending upon the day and what period they are. They can click on that, and this is what you would see. You would see the meet where they open the Zoom link, our icebreaker, our practice, our lessons. You can see that I also tape lessons in case they miss it, especially if it's a very important concept that I want them to have. It talks about some practices that we do, quizzes, any codes. So they always have access to go back to these. So even if there is a day that they're not feeling well, they have a doctor's appointment, all those kinds of life things, they're able to go back to this daily doc, and they can access it from anywhere that they have internet access. So the middle school algebra syllabus is found in Google Classroom. And I believe I sent it out in an email earlier this year, but just to kind of see the units of study, we started with expressions. We're to the end of that, so we'll be starting solving equations after the MEA break. But these are kind of the the different units that we will have. I do note packets for each unit of study, and I think that just really helps the students kind of stick with the daily plan, with the lesson. I send those digitally, and they're also in Google Classroom. If students are unable to make copies, they can stop, or you may stop and pick them up from the front office, or I certainly can mail them out to you. So any one of those options works well. But since we don't really have a textbook that we use, I find that the notes packet really help the students just kind of organize all of their things going on for the unit. Communication, Google Classroom is a main source of communication for the students. Parent view and email would be the main source of communication for parents. The calendar that is posted at the top of Google Classroom, you're able to access that as well. If you want to see kind of what's going on, what are they studying right now, what do the assignments look like, you're free to certainly take a peek in there as well. Grading, so it's very similar to last year. We have all different types of activities that we do in class. The majority of them fall into the practice category, which is overall worth 20% of their grade. So formative assessments, check-ins, there's different practices, desmos, activities. So some of those things are just kind of our practices that is worth 20%. The performance, the summative assessments, those are in the 80% category. And that's where they have a chance to demonstrate their learning. The summative assessments, the performances, the majority of them are digital this year. I use a format through Desmos, which is pretty amazing, especially for graphing, because they're able to plot, graph, and get all of those things that we do in algebra digitally. So it's pretty cool. What can you do to help? As a parent, I know exactly how you feel. First of all, encourage them to advocate for themselves. 7th and 8th graders, this is kind of the turning point where they're starting to become their young adults. And I always encourage them to, have you emailed Miss Glad? Have you talked to Miss Glad? So encourage them to come to me. I think that's a good first step. Assignments are given in class and can be found in the daily document, again, in Google Classroom. Ask them how they're doing. Sometimes with my own kiddos, I just have them say, hey, show me all your grades. So I have them open up the parent, they're not the parent portal, but the student portal, and I have them show me what they're doing. Did you get everything turned in? Just kind of have them explain what's going on. Sometimes that can clear up if there's any miscommunications. And then just encourage them to always focus and try their best. Things have been going great this year. Pleasantly surprised. We're getting this. I have students in middle school algebra that are only distance learning, and then I also have the hybrid class. So I have two kind of mixtures, and they're both going very, very well. So thankful for that. Best ways to reach me, of course, is probably the quickest by email during the day. I'm quite busy in the classroom between my live Zoom and the students in the classroom. So it'd be best just to send me an email if you have a question. Certainly after school hours, you're welcome to call my number as well. So I figured this would be a great way to kind of end. Showed work, got the right answer. So especially middle school algebra, as we continue through this journey together, again, encourage them to show their work. It's a great way to not have to hold everything in their brain, because I know as adults we hold so much up there, so it's kind of nice to get it out. But thanks for allowing me to work with your child this year. It has been great. It has been a great few weeks, and I'm excited for the rest. So nice to meet you. Thanks. Have a great day.